every verse is a concert. My mind.
Buckroll.
This shit gon' ride. You'll never see another nigga like this. Used to have that white bitch popping on the night shift. Now I'm one westward, sharper than an ice pick. On you rappers' necks, and it's feeling like some vice grips. Yeah, that's light shit. Send my bro a kite quick. Ties of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see. Most of them scared to witness. Go and close your eyes. There's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Runners on them fences. 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Who riches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and just know my women riding for me. I avoided Maury. I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. It's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Gun on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Waiting on the swerve in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Living in the swerve in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Sani. My wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home and change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her. They don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on her face, but it's not concealing the pain. It's a shame. That's why I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s, Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that God flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Tahoe Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Lighters in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. It can't. The streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Waiting on the swerve in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Living in the swerve in my whole life. My whole life.
All right, this is Rooted Speech, man. We got Captain Tywar in the building. Yeah. So, Cap, man, let us know where you from.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me, man, on Rooted Speech, man. I'll break it down right quick,
don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I finish, one West when I start. Big Sean, big glow. I be gone till November, let my bitch know. I'm back by the winter, bubbling like Crisco. I need my pockets all swollen like a lymph node. Talking out the side of your neck, get you a slit throat. I stay broke, don't care if I got $1 million. Looking down on me, I put your brains on the ceiling. Fuck kicking down the door, we bout to demo the building. These fake cats all in these groups, I wonder who ya. Shoot ya off your pulpit, hallelujah. 4-pound gun youngin' down like it's a cougar. On my feet, combat boots, or is it Puma? Words spreading around about me, none of it rumor. All truth, very big facts. Very large caliber on very small gaps. Compact pistols, ladders, and all that. About to throw the switch in the Nina for rapid fire. Got the 5.7 equipped with the magnifier. Boom shakalaka equipped with the rim rocker. We ain't really got beef, yeah, Ramak with a bin shot ya. The best rhymer since Pac and Big Papa. Big llama, big juice, I'm Big Jamba. Quarter tank of gas, I ride like a big timer. No informer, no sweat, not inside of my conglomerate. Wreck like King Kong. No Asian pun me, no chink in armor. Remain calm through our pain that bring drama. Stay focused on things that bring commas. Took all pressure, applied and made diamonds. Stayed true, kept shit pure, my name honored. Paid all dues and debts and kept promise. Make sure you show respect. Pay homage, I'm One West bred, One West vetted. One West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, One West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, One West when I start. I said I've been One West bred, One West vetted. One West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, One West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, One West when I start. I'm the hottest on the market, don't make me start it. I'ma pull up in a Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I remember days was trapping out the apartment. Now One West about put me up in a starship. About to fly the friendly skies in this bitch. Spit the truth on the corners, I lie a little bit. I'm a stand-up nigga, I die before I switch. Down, no, we up, I'm cool with who I with. I'ma be war the king and stay dangerous. Hold down the biz and fam, remain blameless. Now rappers drippy with styles he made famous. First with studs and spikes in any city. Designing charge a stack for shit that can't fit me. Had fringes on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all, no Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain $1.50. Off my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though, cause the niggas getting fouled, shoot you like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino, and the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow. Try to ride my wave, you gon' need a speedboat. I'm hot like 100 degrees in a peacoat. Scarf in the sweater, I embark every letter. It's UPK, not a park, but together. I've been One West bred, One West vetted. One West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, One West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, One West when I start. One West bred, One West vetted. One West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, One West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, One West.
I'ma show them it's a difference. I'ma only say this once, you better listen. When West is where it started, so you know that's where it finished. We got one main objective, nigga, let's complete the mission. We explaining what the who, lead them bitches and they feelin'. Snub on me, only time I put my nose inside your business. I don't want my gun to show, so I wear my shirt bigger. This is our world, cause if this was your world, I'd be the villain. Break his whole block down, all I gotta do is bend and stuff in Mac shell drums. Turn your crib to Sunday dinner. You don't live here, you visit, this my shit, it's a difference. I don't do lean, Lobos in my cup is what I'm sipping. I don't do dreams, I just say a prayer, go and get it. And it all work out, you know this ain't for play, this ain't for fun. I've been destined for this shit, niggas know that I'm the one. This shit can go 100 yards, you would think I kicked a punt. You would think I had a flare gun on go, you niggas run. They like he an Israelite, all he rap about is guns. Bitch, I'm an Israelite that own a lot of guns. What that nigga said who? Tell him watch the grind. Yeah, you must be crazy if you ever think of stopping mine. Knock all of the chains out you niggas, make them drop a dime. This Taurus hold 12, it is not a zodiac sign. Piss me off, get me in my bag, make me drop a bomb, drop a nuke, make the world freeze. I can stop the time. Watch what you do, cause once you do it, you can't press rewind. On purpose, I do the opposite, so nigga cross the line. This is different. I ain't looking for trouble, but on point, case you think I rap. Turn him to a vegetable. Lead this nigga cabbage patch. No new niggas with me. If you see him, then they got my back. Got it out the mud, big stepping. You can see the tracks. Follow me. I could teach you something. Have her see relax. If you gonna speak on anything, just make sure it's fact. It's a difference. We are not the same. Help them notice that. Pay attention. Watch how we move. We can know we can't hang around all real niggas and we move as one. This ain't Fortnite. Get into it. Ain't no 1v1. The smoke I bring to you, you can't take it in with your lung. Life about warfare. We just make it look fun. She asked what kind of oil I got on. I told her give them some. When West the only real niggas left, you better get you one. Chicken shop giving out wings if I pull a drum. It's a difference. You better watch your words before you eat your tongue. Scrape the whole plate, not a trace nor leave a crumb. Ice falling off the watching chain like it's freezer burn. Daring somebody to say my name, I would eat to him. Loyalty means everything, so I don't eat with them.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
You see, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is to have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that. Let bygone be. Boy, ask you to stop and ask you to prop. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed it up for parole. Because of the COVID, it feel like the hoes in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world, and know boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask shit. Oh, I don't step, I'm silent for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no losses, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just pay with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell them we can't keep me slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, your baby pants through the fire. Ask you the prophets, that baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will fail you, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. It's off now. We're gonna get started.
All jokes aside.
So that one. And we're gonna just jump into our Sunday evening. Get it on. So, Shalom. And they say, clap it up. And they clap it up. You can say, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah, all the brothers, Yahweh Shema Atam by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, all the sisters. And we're going to get into what we normally do. Well, before we jump into anything, I'm going to send you that encouragement again. Encourage to get yourself out in the soil. Plant something. Get some food growing in your yard. Get some food growing on your back porch. Get some food growing on your balcony. Go to the store, buy a plant, and plant it. You know, they got a lot of seedlings that you could purchase. Just plant something. You get into the habit. You get better and better at it. Some people say there's such thing as a green thumb. I don't ascribe to that. I say that this whole thing is a science, not an art. So if you follow the right procedure, you will produce good crops. Okay? If you don't, then you won't. That's the way it goes. So food, soil, some nutrients in the soil, water, bam, sunlight. That's all you got to do. And don't put it there and leave it and then go back 2 months later and say, hey, what happened? Yeah, we need to call this plant police for you because you killed it. All right. So, yeah, like I said, get out there, get some stuff planted, eat something that you grew yourself. But let's get into some of our local events that are happening in my neck of the woods. Again, we talk about these things to show you how we are yet in our captivity, how we yet in our slavery, how we yet governed by the things that are around us. We don't seem to have as much control as we think. You even think you have a choice. You have a choice. Look at it like this. You get put in a carton, and your choices are confined to the inside of the carton. If you think about it, you really don't have choices because the real choices go beyond where you are confined. And I know you don't even understand that. You figure you running around in this little area you're in. You figure you got all kind of choices. You got all kind of things you have the ability to choose. But the truth is, you really don't have as much of a choice as you think. You can find an area, and that's where you live. The choices that you have them. People around you have them. But the wider community have other choices which dwarf your little bit of choice you think you have. So, anyhow, that just goes to show, and even your ignorance show that we are yet in our slavery. But let's touch on some of these things, and you'll see a lot of the things that happens. I mean, we have some things that happen in the Bahamas right now that may or may not happen. Like we are a tourist destination, so you'll have some stuff that happens here that may not happen all about. But wherever Israel is, we can have the consistent things happening there and here, and that's how we identify all of the curses and the plagues and everything, all of the negative stuff that's happening. We see the similarity, and obviously we know how what we're supposed to be doing to get out of it. But yet, so many of our people have not yet been able to see it. Anyhow, okay, locally, what's happening in our neck of the woods? Now, this one is like a tourist, and this seems to happen on a regular basis. Now, I would assume that these may be, these people who are. This may be, and Shalom says, good to see body on there. These could be heathens. It didn't say exactly, but the first current event right here we're talking about is we have a drowning. Like I said, we have a tourist destination. We got a lot of people. We have a lot of water activities here in the Bahamas, and a lot of people come and see these nice clear waters, and a lot of times they lose their life in it. And this is what happened here. We had a drowning here. It happened in the capital. 69-year-old. He was a visitor, all right, drowned, right? The next current event is, this is one of the things I try to teach people about as a safety officer. Try to tell them, now this is a fatal fall, right? Now, this person, 46-year-old man, fell from a roof resident while trimming trees. The thing is, if you're gonna work on a rooftop, you need to have some kind of fall protection in place. That means figure out how you're not gonna fall from where you are. That's the thing. A lot of times people get carried away with what they're doing, and what happens is they lose track of what they're doing, lose track of where their footing is, and slip and fall, or lose their balance and fall. All of these things is why you should have some kind of fall protection in place. In case you fall, there's a fall arrest system you could put in place, or there's a fall. You could have because there's a also a system which you could not allow yourself to get that far by putting a rope on you. And whenever you get to the edge of the roof, then you could stop. That'll hold you right there. So there are different things that you can do, but you just can't go on the roof these days, work, or the tree cutting, because sometimes the tree will also pull you down. That's another thing. You're cutting with a chainsaw, you don't have good balance on the roof or on a ladder, so you have to be very careful when you're doing those kind of activities. And so again, you can't even afford to have the professional come with the right equipment to perform that job. The proper equipment would be a cherry picker with a chainsaw, an experienced chainsaw handler, and they'll cut the tree from up at the top and keep coming down until they cut the trees down to whatever distance you want it to be. Right now, person might not even be able to afford it. They go in the cheap way or doing it themselves. And what happens? It can actually cause you death, right? As a second one of the that shows, if you didn't recognize that definitely showed it. We don't have the wherewithal to have somebody else do some of those things for us. The guy who we talk about heaven and hell, right? And sometimes I say the guy who could call the airport and tell the pilot, fire up the Learjet, we're going to Paris this evening. He in heaven. And I say the guys who got to go down to the filling station and put a little bit of gas in the beat up car, he's still in hell because he got to go to the gas station every day. Now this guy, he couldn't call somebody to have that tree removed or cut it to the point where it need to be. More than likely, he's where most people are in hell. Another indicator of where you might be and you're not seeing it. You can see it in other people. You might find it hard to see it in yourself, right? There's another, two men. The police are investigating the shooting incident where two men were injured and have been taken to the hospital by private vehicles. Now, I didn't really say this story is still developing, right? It didn't say if they exchanged gunfire and hit one another. It didn't say if they were bystanders. But again, firing off weapons in the public or even at each other, again, that's the indication of the oppression, the suppression, the depression, the oppression, all of these pressure that people are under, and the pressures that you're under. You try to find ways out. When the heat comes in, people reach their boiling point quicker and all. So all of these things are things that happens, and I'm talking about things that happen in our neck of the wood. The fourth one is a marine incident. A 15-year-old teen has died following a fishing trip accident. Now, apparently, what may have happened, and we used to do this all the time. We out in a small boat. They was in a 17-foot boat, and they was just riding the waves going out. Now, normally we hold a rope and stand on the bow. Something may have happened in this case that this teen fell over, and I think the engine may have he might have collided with the engine, with the engine and been injured. Now, this is, again, these are things where proper safety precautions should be taken to avoid those possible accidents. I mean, there are only a few that happens every year, but the point is, if one happens, there's too many. And so that's the way that happened. Now, again, there's another one, the fifth current event now, telling you if you didn't think you was in our people were still struggling to try to find a way to find some extra money to make some money what they could spend and not have to be working all the time. Yeah, but the thing is, breaking the law is not the way to go. But anyhow, there's a drug seize, right? And this happened, I think it's happened in Grand Bahama, where drug enforcement officers seized a significant of a suspected cannabis on Friday. So again, people are trying to find ways to make more money because like I said, most people work, and whenever they get paid, they can't afford to put $200 in the bank and leave it there. and then next month put the next 2 and leave it there. No, that doesn't always happen. Most of the time what happens, they put that $200 there before the end of the month. They got to go back and get that a week or so and spend that too. Why? We've been in this so long that it's become like second nature. We're comfortable in this slavery that we're in. We don't even see it. We're in this box and we're comfortable in this box. And so now we just do the best we can, because if you keep crying about it, I guess it even becomes worse, right? So, but that's where we are. That's where the blacks, the Native Indians, and the Hispanics find themselves in the same thing. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. So where you see things happening in our neck of the wood, if you go in the other communities, you can see similar things happening. All right. Okay, now the 6th one is the Bahamian national living it illegally. Hey, you're living illegally in America. Agent Orange tell everybody who's there illegally, get your crap and go home. So now this Bahamian living over there illegally, now you get sentenced to 27 years in prison after admitting to sexual exploitation. Admitting to sexual exploitation of an 11-year-old child. Listen, again, we should not be doing anything against the scriptures. And when we find ourselves doing that, you're going to find yourself on the wrong side of the law. However simple it may be, whatever you do against the law, you're going to find whatever laws you break. All right? When you break men laws, right? Let's say as simple as speeding, driving, however, whatever laws you break, road rules, and the law pull you over, you at their mercy because you were violating the law. You are at their mercy. And so we at ISUPK say, do not put yourself in that predicament and position. Follow the law. Always do the right thing. Because if you do the right thing, you have nothing to fear. If the law pull you over and they say, I want to search this vehicle, you know what you would say? You would say, search it. You know why? Because you know there's nothing that you have in there that's illegal. You have no reason to worry about. You see there's a roadblock, you drive to the roadblock comfortably and you drive. Why are you doing that? You know why? Because you're following the laws, and you have your proper inspection, proper documents on your vehicle, so you have nothing to fear. And this is why we say do not do anything against the law. Now, this man's law. We also tell you don't do anything against God's law. But now you want to follow man's law, not God's law. Okay, they want to change that, but we can get to that in a minute. We're still in our current events. Let's talk about some international current events. Now, you all know code name Agent Orange. I said that before, right? The leader of the free world, his birthday, what he says, 80 years old. In ISUPK, we don't celebrate birthdays. When you actually get to understand what birthdays, where it originated, you wouldn't celebrate your birthday either. All right, but through ignorance, until you come to understand what it is, then I can tell you, in the time of ignorance, God wink. So let the Lord continue to wink at you if you can be ignorant and not find out where these things happen and realize that you're doing the wrong thing. But sooner or later, you can realize that you're doing the wrong thing. All right, something is going to click in your mind that you're doing the wrong thing. Now, the thing was, they was doing the MMA. I think they were setting up to have some big MMA and on the White House lawn or something. Agent Orange don't play now, all right? So yeah, he's doing it big. He's doing it big. But again, we don't go that route. We realize where it all started from, and we realize that's one of the most evil day in the satanic, or the most holy day in the satanic world is birthdays. All right? Is birthdays and the celebration thereof. That's the most evil day. Why? Before I jump on, because we're talking about birthdays here. Because that's the day when you were fooled that you could be, you were fooled into the false sense that you could be a god for that one day. And if you probably don't recognize it, because over time You just wake up and people did it all before you came around. So, but when you isolate that action, isolate the whole birthday, the whole thing about it. In its sense, it started where well, we wouldn't even go to the deity part, the false god. That's say for people. What happens is you get up and you say, "Oh, this is my day." All right, this is my day. In addition to it being your day, people got to come and bring presents to you on your day. They need to now, and a lot of times they elevate you on that day. They sing to you, they lift you up because you feel like you're supposed. It started off with people being treated as a god. You know what the first commandment is? Thou shalt have no god before me. And you are playing right into the hands of the enemy by doing that ignorantly, but you do it anyway. And even if you're told, you'll say, "Oh no, I ain't doing that for me. Why are you doing it for the children? Why are you doing it for this?" Listen, you ain't doing it for none of them. You don't even need to know why you're doing it, but you're doing it for the enemy. The enemy is using that same act that you're doing, and he is trying to say, you see your people so stupid, Most High, they so stupid. They fall in my festivals and not yours. You think about it. We be following the enemy's festivals and not the Lord's, because all of them you don't even know the holy days, and you don't keep them. But all of the evil days you follow. You don't follow the Lord's days. You follow those evil days. All right. Anyway, I digress. All right. So back on the current events, because I almost get on the topic again. No, I didn't even need the topic. All right. All right. So now I was never a basketball fan. Right, maybe I when the left hand hook I used to be playing ball. Yeah, I could shoot the ball, and so but I was never that good at it. All right. I run up and down the court and play a little bit of balls. Other fellas was much better than I was. But the thing is, right now I think the Knicks must see it in kind of win are supposed to be winning, and and everybody seemed to be all happy because the Knicks team win for so much years, and it's just crazy. And even with that, you have people, you have things happening over it, right? You have people getting injured over that the team was shot on a bus, over some kind of game. And I guess the days have come where you step on somebody's shoes, you could get unalive, right? Yeah. Anyway, that's over a game, all right. But I think I end up they win this whole thing yet, because like I say, I'm not a basketball fan, so I don't know. All right, so the third international event, there was a plane crash, skydiving, right? Skydiving plane crash. So everybody in the plane was unalived, because what happens? Because shortly after it took off, it fell, and I think that's one of the times, yeah. Because they haven't really gotten the altitude to even do any gliding, and definitely they couldn't jump out. It's too low. So, all right. Anyway, that's an unfortunate thing. That's all the information you have on that. Back to Agent Orange, code name Agent Orange. All right, back to him. He's saying there's going to be a deal. There's going to be a deal with Iran. All right. There definitely is going to be a deal. Despite a temporary delay caused by Israel's strike in Beirut. So he's saying even though that's happening, there's still going to be a deal. Okay, that's some Agent Orange. Remember now, he's just like a toddler. He's just like he's optimistic about everything. What did he say about the tanker? He said, "Oh, Trump, we got a blockage. We have a tanker. We there's seas and stuff. What are we going to do with it? We just take it." That's what he said, right? We just take it. And then he talk about Cuba, which I guess can come up soon. You say the same thing about Cuba. We just take it. They can't defend themselves. We just take it. So it's just like a toddler, right? Come to your house, play it, and they see a toy on the floor. What they do? They just pick it up and say they want it. Yeah. Okay, so that's Agent Orange. So we see another thing. I saw it on the TV. where apparently Agent Orange again, right? He had an operation where he killed this leader of the gang in an airstrike, and they put everything on TV these days. It looked like a doggone a little hut with a tin roof, right? I mean, that's, I don't know, vapor, almost like it vaporized. But they just going in other people's country and deciding to kill whoever they want to. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's Agent Orange again, okay? All right, so the next one going down the list, the conflict is still going on between the brothers, the cousins, the family members in Ukraine and Russia. Yeah, they still at it. All right, they still at it. It started 2022 and still going strong, right? And so what's gonna happen? I mean, they already destroy most of the places, and they're trying to destroy one another's home and places and killing the people, and it's just ridiculous. The Most High must, or he should, send Yahweh Shai back soon to sort all of this stuff out, to stop all of this. Other than that, they're gonna start to destroy the earth. All right, so yeah, that's going on. Just too many things are happening around the world. All right, so now talk a little bit about the health, right? We're still recognizing the different areas that are under some kind of outbreak, right? There's outbreaks that's still going on. The toll may be climbing, of course, and so they're trying to keep them under control. The Ebola in the Congo and the infections in the Uganda, all this stuff is still happening. I guess the mum's still going on, and what they got, mpox, all these things. They're pestilence, rumors. They say that wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, all of these things, and the end is not yet. But these are some of the signs that's supposed to happen before the end comes. So be aware that the end is right on top of us. I don't know if anything else have to really particularly happen for Yahweh Shai to stop burst through the clouds. A black man with an afro. Everybody gonna lose their mind. And that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna lose their mind. Everybody's gonna lose their mind. Let me see if there's anything else. Well, there seem to be mental health issues around the world. I don't know, in my neck of the woods, I see it seems like new people are walking the streets every so often. I mean, the ones who just either walk with a trolley, those kind of people who just walking and stopping and just looking up and doing funny stuff. Yeah, I mean, those kind of people. You seem to see them increasing. You see a new one of them, and you wonder if they come from a different island. I don't know. Do they come from a different island, or they spawn and lose their mind right here and start when I was younger, they say you'd be counting lampposts. Yeah. So, and some of them, some of them trying to perfect this on the corner hustling these days now, right? I don't know if those guys are as unfortunate as they appear to be. Some of them seem to be now turning it into a small business. Anyway. Yeah, it just goes to show we get smack dab right in the middle of our oppression, and I know most people aren't able to even understand that, because they've been struggling all their life. Their parents been struggling all their life, and who they blame? They blame you. They blame you. They say, "Oh, if you to do bad, you could do better," or they blame themselves. They say, "Oh, they could do better if they make the right choices." In this slavery that you find yourself in, there ain't really no good choices for you. That's what you don't realize. It's not really any good choices for you. You can work and you can struggle with trying to do the right thing. And everything that the oppressor put in your face is going to be those things that cause you to do the wrong thing. He can make all of the foods you're not supposed to be eating seem to be so attractive. He can run so much advertisement causing you to be more attracted to things that you shouldn't be involved in. He can just make everything so easy for you that you struggle to do the right thing. And the more you fall to the oppressor's easiness and everything and advertisement, the more you drift away from the Lord. And you'll never get to see the Lord close unless you start keeping his commandments. and nobody's gonna it's very easy for you not to do them because they make everything else so attractive. All right. They put pork in everything, well, that's a oversimplification, right? But they put it in enough things for you to say everything. That's my point. They put it in enough things for you to, and so when you go to buy something, you just have to be very careful to read the ingredients. Do you know that I think they use either hog fat or some part of hog in the production of marshmallows? You have to be careful what you consume. Do a research on the things you eat. All right. That's another, that just shows we smack dab right in the middle of slavery. You eating stuff you even know what it's made of. I see. We import so much things that the people who sending us food in this country, they could run any experiment on us. I'm telling you, they could use us as a test, some kind of laboratory study. They could say, okay, we're gonna inject these things into the food, and we're gonna see how the Bahamian population reacts and acts. You know what they did in America? I think it was the 50s when they allowed it was syphilis, one of those STDs, and what they did, they pretended to give the people the cure, and these are all 12 tribe members now. Okay, you've seen the Caucasians. So they pretended to give them a cure, but they didn't. And they just studied them. They just studied to see how they transmitted it from one to the next and how long they take to die. So they just, and they did it. If you Google it, you could find that. It's history. It's documented. It was done right in America on the black people. All right. Now, you'll never know that because nobody can talk about it. But the countries who are sending us food now, they could run any experiment on us. Yes, they can say, okay, let's we got this chemical here. Let's see what this can do to them over this time. You don't know what the chemical could do, but they have an idea what they'll test on us. And because we import so much, we don't get our own stuff. All right, so let me get on to the topic for the night. And if you have any questions, you can just open up your mic and ask your questions, and you just continue moving on. All right. Now, so what we are doing is we're going through the book of Genesis, and what we've been doing, we've been actually trying to pick out some of the important stories as we go through to talk about them. As we move through, we're coming down. We're talking about Jacob right now, so we're going to talk about some of the things that happens in Jacob's life. We may catch the last part of Isaac. We talk about Isaac a little bit, then we start talking about Jacob. The importance is this, trying to get you to understand that even though there's a lot more nations on the earth, the Most High only dealt with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? And wherever you would see other people mentioned, it's only mentioned in there to bring clarity, to make reference, to bring examples in there. That's the way it is. And so you will see other nations mentioned, but they'll be mentioned for a reason. But who the story is going to be around? The story is going to be around the Israelites. Now, again, let me say this to you. This the army up now. Those sisters ain't supposed to be battling, but sometimes you may have to poke somebody in the eye. Just a little one. Don't get out the fist, but then just the little finger. Just give them the little finger and say, listen, this. There's no prophet. There's no documented person in the Bible which is not and not just Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Everybody come from who wrote the Bible, who wrote any part of the Bible, any of the scriptures, who had anything to do with that. No other nationality, no other person other than that same three people. Now, even so, let's say Abraham had other sons, Isaac had other sons, right? Jacob had a brother. None of those other people. Nobody from none of them had anything to do when it comes to writing the scriptures. Okay? So, that being said, people don't realize who the scriptures were written for. It's difficult to tell people that because they've been brainwashed by Christianity, and over time they've been whitewashed through everything, so their brains only see the things that other people tell them. They never really get the Bible and follow it themselves. They never read it themselves. They listen to what somebody tell them, and then they form their conclusion around that. But did they go back and read it and let a priest try to explain it to them? No. They believe that they have a clear understanding of the scriptures, and they don't. The scriptures say in Psalm, I think it is, he showed his word to his priests. And that's not everybody. Again, you have to be in the line to know who it is. We're going to be doing some more reading, and I hope it's not too much for you. But the scriptures is the things that should hold us together. I'll be starting in Genesis chapter 25 and the 21st verse. 25 and 21, and I'll be reading there. We're going to be looking at, I think we're starting with, I'll tell you right now. Okay, so this is the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. Now, you know that so Isaac, you know, Isaac didn't have, Rebekah didn't have any children. So Isaac, you know, he entreated the Lord and say, you know, man, I know I'm supposed to have all of these nations, but no children coming. What's going on, Lord? All right. And so the Lord, let me read on a little more. And check this out, right? So, because she was barren and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. Okay? Now, remember, we're trying to go through this, you could get an understanding of how this lines up and how this supports. Okay? What do we get here? Why I seem to have two T-shirts? Did you have two devices? So that here. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to continue to read the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 22. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Now, just to say, when you see this little simple phrase, and she went to inquire of the Lord, what you think that means? You know what that means? Think about it. That means, believe it or not, she went and she found a prophet, a priest, and asked him that question. Because she didn't go and inquire of the Lord. She inquired of the priest, who in turn would speak instead of the Lord for her. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. You know, the thing is, this same prophecy right here, this same thing right here, people don't realize this is another factor that helps you to understand the Israelites and other people. Okay? Now, why I said that, check this out. So there are 2 nations. See, think about this. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. 2 nations, 2 separate set of nations. What that mean? That means these 2 people can be two, like let's say 2 nations. Look at a nation. Look at if you think about, if you say nation, you have to think all of these people are the same, and then the next people, all of them are the same. This means they got to be 2 separate type of different people. That's what this is saying. It's two nations. Where in so much that you can be able to tell the difference between these two people, right? Now, in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. You right? Two manner. The manner, they can be two different manner. Let me see. So like here, I can take a minute and let me see if I can do a quick Google on this word. See if this can bring me any clearer to what I should like here for that. When I have another priest helping me, I could do this a little better. Let's see. Now the English manner, the best one I can see is a people. So inspiring something. Slovakia. That's the best meaning I could find right now for manner. So it's saying two different set of people will be in. That's what it's saying. Two different type of people will be in your womb. I mean, they say that, right? Two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. So right here, this Rebecca, and who coming out? Who is the two who coming out? Remember, the two who coming out. I'll tell you before we reach it. Is what I mean. It's right here, right? And the what they say, and the elder shall save the younger, and when her days to deliver were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red. You know that's important. Okay? The first, see, check this out. This is another thing. The first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. Right? So he's the first. He's the, right? And then let's see. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on his heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when they bought him. Now, I'll just ask you this question. Okay? I want you to think about this. It's kind of rhetorical, but I want you to think about it. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment. That's the first one, right? Came out red. And then it say, and after that came his brother out, and he took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. You hear no description on him? So why do you think it was a description on the first one and no description on the second one? You know why it was the description was on the first one and not the second one? Because the first one was abnormal. The first one, because people wasn't coming out red and hairy all over. They wasn't coming out like that. And so then when the next one come out, he come out like everybody else was there before. And that's why you see that distinction, that narrowing down, that saying, and he came with red all over and hairy, like a hairy garment. That's Esau. And you know, I mean, they actually is born more of a pinkish color. You see, right? But anyway, that's how the scriptures describe him. Okay, now let's see. Okay, and so we see that the two of them came out. Of course, the Lord's word have to be continued. So Jacob and Esau. So now we see Jacob is now on the scene. Okay, so Jacob is on the scene, and we see, let's skip down a little bit as they grew. As they grew, you'll see. Check this out now. Okay, now, I don't know if I captured the birthright selling and the pottage and all of that. And he came with the field, Jacob. So because Esau was so hairy, and Jacob had sold his Esau had sold his birthright to Jacob. Remember that. Okay, so if Esau had sold his birthright to Jacob, he did that, and so now when the time come for the birthright to be shared out from his father, was it wrong for Rebecca to help? People just don't think about that. But he had sold his birthright to his brother a long time, and then what he's going to do? Go and get the birthright back from his father, get the blessing? Well, that's what it was. That's what it was all about. That was that same blessing would he sell for food. Okay. Now, another thing to bear in mind, in Genesis 28:1, I made a note of that. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise and go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence for the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. And God Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, and thou mayest be a multitude of people. And it grieve and give thee the blessings of Abraham to thee, and to thy seed with thee. You hear what Isaac is saying to Jacob. Follow this now, because this is important. Okay? This is the things that people don't see. What he is saying is, he's telling them to go and get a wife. And then he also saying that, and God Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be multiplied, may be a multitude of people, and give thee the blessings of Abraham. That's what we're talking about. Abraham is the one who the Lord say he's going to bless everyone through him, and everything starts with Abraham. Isaac is now saying that Jacob is going to receive the blessings of Abraham. Okay? That's what Isaac is telling Jacob. So he's saying that. And then Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Padan Aram unto Laban, son of Bethuel and Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's and Esau's mother. And Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob, and sent him away to Padan Aram, and to take a wife from thence, and that he blessed him and gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. And Jacob obeyed his father and his mother, and was gone to Padan Aram. And Esau, saying that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, then went Esau unto Ishmael, and took unto the wives which he had Maliath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, and sister of Nebaioth, to be his wife. And Jacob went out of Beersheba, and went toward Haran. So we see here Jacob following in the instructions, but Esau saw what happened, and he defied his father, because he say, well, that's if my daddy don't want me to have this wife from here, that's exactly where I'm going. All right. So it's defiance. Okay. Now let's see if we can get another. And if you have any questions, just feel free to stop me. We're just trying to give you some enlightenment. You're gonna need all of this stuff. What it does is it helps you to actually settle in, because to understand that we are who we say we are, you're gonna have to understand these things. This this happened, and we coming down to where we are. We talking about Jacob now. The next thing we starting to talk about is Jacob's sons. All right, and we're gonna, I guess it'll be next time we start talking about where they seem to be scattered and how we get to be where we are. But these things are very important. Let me move on a little further. I got a couple other things I want to try and touch on before we get out of here. So Genesis chapter 29 and 14. So Jacob now, we're going to see where Jacob now, Jacob, Leah, Rachel, and the other two handmaids, that, I'm sorry, right? We know, but we can talk about that, right? Okay, so in the 14th verse, and Laban said to, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my bone, shouldest thou therefore save me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? All right. And Laban had two daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, and Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. Jacob loved Rachel, and he said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy youngest daughter. Okay, so we know the story, what happened. You could read it if you need to go through this entirety, and that's Genesis 29 and 14, starting right there. So Jacob, he worked for 7 years, and then they had the ceremony, they had the big feast, and then I guess he went, of course he was drinking and having a good time, and then Laban then brought his daughter to marry, and when she went into the tent, and Jacob married her, and then in the morning he realized it was Leah. Okay, and then he said, man, what you do to me? He said, what? And then Laban said, can't give you your youngest daughter and you got the oldest one. It don't be like that here. I gotta marry the first one, the older one off first. But if you want the next one, you could have her. All right, you could have her. You just need to work the next 7 years. Now, he didn't work the 7 years then get her. He got her then work the 7 years. Now I don't know if it was a week or how much time it was, but he didn't have to work the end of the 7 years to get the second wife, which will be Rachel. Okay, so that happened. Now, what I'm trying to get into is, we're getting up on the time I want to start bringing in how the children were born. Okay, because this is important, and it's important how the children start coming into being. Because remember now, this now is going to be how we come into being over these centuries of time, and why. And even so, you can have 4 different women, right? So Jacob had 4 wives, right? And these 4 women produce 4 different complexion of children, I should say. All right, because if you know, and we're gonna go through it in more detail, and we're gonna dive down into it a little better, as we don't have the time right now to dive right down into it. But I want to go a little deeper into it and look at the different, and we'll talk about the difference in the children, because we have, and how the tribes got separated. We had the northern and the southern tribes, right? But before we move on to Jacob, before we move on to the children, I just want to say something about Laban and Jacob, and how. So Laban was blessed, severely, abundantly, because of Jacob being there. All right, animals multiplied, and it even come to the point where he wanted to leave, and he didn't want him to leave, but he did eventually leave, and but he didn't leave on the best of terms. He didn't leave. He kind of sneak away. And when Laban knew that he was gone, he kind of followed behind him. But I think Leah had hid something under her, and he was trying to find this thing which he hid, and he didn't find it. So, but again, he had in his mind to do harm to Jacob. But the Lord spoke to him that night and said, "Listen, bro, you do that, I'll end you." And so he didn't do anything. He
So, Salakia, sir,
coming in.
for clarification purposes, okay, you said Laban was greatly blessed because of Jacob's presence.
Yeah, yes. Because Laban
was that because of the covenant, or the covenant from Abraham now coming down to Jacob?
Correct.
Had the covenant kicked in as yet?
Oh yeah. See what happened was remember the story how it went. Yes, it is already kicked in, and it said, let me see if I can find where it is now. I think it actually said that it didn't. I read it. I didn't circle it, but the fact that that his flock increased so much. And remember when he told them how he's gonna pay him, and he separated the animals, the spotted ones, and he even did that, and that's how he got his payment basically. And even so, he ended up with more than Laban ended up, but he was just blessed just because that Jacob was there. Yeah, the Lord had already started the whole promising thing. Yeah, so the covenant was already kicked in, and so wherever Israel find themselves, blessings are around. And so everybody's blessed when Israel is around. But even though people think like everybody is blessed because the Lord blessed them, they actually are blessed because of who presence they're in. And I know it's kind of difficult to tell some of the people that, but so yeah, so that happened. And he received payments. He said, "How can I pay you?" He said, "All right, you could pay me with the animals. We're gonna separate these animals. I'll get this set, you get this set, and how they produce, I'll get this ones, and you keep the other ones. If any of the ones which you're supposed to be fine with my herd, then it'll be like I steal it." So he had all that stuff sorted out, and he ended up getting a lot. He ended up with a lot of cattle right off of that whole thing. But I want to dive. I'm going to be jumping down because I'm going to close out just about now, and so we're going to be getting close. When we come back, we're going to actually look at the sons, the 12 sons. We're going to look at how each woman would have these 4 wives, right, would have produced these children for Jacob, and how the children of Israel come from these 4 wives, and we're going to show how they all kind of interacted when they were young, and some of the things that happened in their lives, and as they separated and they ended up different. And I guess I'll have to go through some of the other books as we talk about how they actually got separated, and then of course we also see in Deuteronomy chapter 28, which we have not gotten there yet, right? But we definitely already passed where Moses, we're gonna get where Moses where all the deal was made. The deal was made, right? Abraham would have made the initial connection with the Lord, and then we see as it comes down that we're supposed to follow these laws, and when we didn't follow them, we see all of these things start to break out. And so because they all start to break out and go kind of contrary, we're going to see how we got separated. We're going to see whenever we was not serving the Lord, all these nations came up against us, and we could never fend them off because we were not serving the Lord. So anytime they could get us to do anything that that we were not serving the Lord, and anything was done, once that's done, they get the upper hand on us. And that's always been like that from time immemorial. And today, I think we can never get back up onto that position until we recognize, until we really go back to the Lord and and keep all of those commandments. If we don't do that, we'll never gain the strength we need to gain to get out of this captivity. And with that, if there are no other questions, you're gonna wrap it up right there. And so we should be coming back in a lot of hours on Wednesday. And like I said, we're gonna dive down into the different the children, how the women brought them around, how they came around. It's kind of a little comical as we talk about it. But the 12 children came about and how they grew, and we'll talk about some of the things that happened with them. So with that, if there are no questions, these are the security announcements. We had a One West started at 125th Street under Commanding General Nehana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother comes into the school, and a new person comes into the school, they off limit for 6 months. They had to be saluted only. They had to shed themselves off the world. And if a particular person have an interest in the brother or sister, then after the 6-month period, then they'd have to get permission to talk to the brother or sister. Then they give permission to court. After the next 6 months period, which adds up to like a whole 1 year, then they get permission to marry, right? Tithes, which definitely is a commandment. So we're supposed to pay our tithes. It's about here. We can find tithes in Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10. It's tenth in the Hebrew and it's pronounced by Ishua. 10% of every penny of any increase that the Lord give you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests is not mandatory. Whatever amount you'd like to give, you can give. Remind Akim and Aquathium to check the social media for isupk.com or isupk.org. If a brother wants to be a troop in the school, he should start wearing all black, which include black boots, black shirt, black pants, a black headband or scarf. And with that, you'll see when the brothers watch, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatah to the brothers, Yahweh Shema Alatam Bahashem Yahushai to the sisters.
Yahweh Shema Alatam Bahashem Yahushai.
Okay, with that, we say class dismissed. Shalom, sisters.
Shalom.